So it's like a little bit of trailer of to what the movie is.
It's summer, it's July, and we are here in Dubai.
Oh my God. Summer, without a car, in a suit, right? Walking around doing viewings is not easy at all. So I was just dodging complaint after complaint from the client. And it's been so much fun. Like I really enjoy doing it.
American dream and Dubai dream.
The Dubai dream is so real. Inside, I was thinking, if you hate this so much,
Why would you buy this,
why
right?
do you want, you're living history, you know what I mean? You're being part of history. So that is very inspiring for all of us that work there.
Hi, we're so lucky to have Peter Kafie today with us. This is the sales director of Expo City Dubai, and he went a long way. Started from real estate broker in Miami 11 years ago, and now he's working here. And today he represents one of the most significant projects on the spot where Dubai Expo 2020 was held. Hi, Peter. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
I'm sure we're going to have a very, very nice and interesting conversation today because you have such a great experience in real estate. And for a lot of people who are listening to us today, it will be very interesting to find out some tips and tricks you use in sales in real estate. And also for myself, as you have experience as the broker and as the representative of developer, it might be very, very interesting to know what is the main difference between these two and like how did you come to the position where you are at today.
Yeah, that's going to be a great conversation. Thank you so much for having me. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, and we were speaking before, like how we all come to Dubai and move here. And when I was moving to Dubai, the main reason why I chose UAE as my place to live in was the significant growth of economy. And that's like number one, and the safety. What was the reasons for you to choose UAE?
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, the reasons that I chose UAE are very different for the reasons why I call this now home and I've decided to be living here for the last 11 years. I came here first because, well, my mother was living in Lebanon, right? And because of the war, it trickled a little bit into Lebanon, and so she moved to Dubai. And ever since I was little, Dubai has had a great marketing, it still does, but used to also have a great marketing in terms of the 7-star luxury, iconic Burj Al Arab, right? That really promoted that 7-star luxury all in the Western Hemisphere. So I remember being in high school and university, and I always wanted to go to Dubai. My mom wasn't even living here. And so when she moved here and she said, Peter, come check this out, I was super excited. And I came, I checked it out, and I fell in love with the city. And immediately, within 2 weeks, I had 2 job offers. One was to continue to do real estate, which I was doing in Miami. And the other one was to be a headhunter, a recruiter. So I chose the real estate option again, and I've loved it. It's been super exciting because real estate, compared to Miami, when I first arrived here in April 2013, it was several years behind Miami, right? And so you could just see a little bit as to like a window as to where it was going to be evolving, right? I mean, people were doing MOUs on napkins while they were waiting in line for a developer in order to resell. So it was very, very, very unique. Yeah, very unique, very unique. But loved it ever since. And now the reasons why I stay here is the same reasons why everybody loves coming to Dubai. I mean, you have security, you have the economic boom that Dubai is having is just phenomenal. I mean, the landscape, I think we're absolutely blessed to have amazing leadership, right? UAE, so it's just been phenomenal. For me, every single year, Dubai has gotten better and better and better. So I call this 100% home. Whenever it says, Peter, are you going home? I'm like, I am home. So it's... Yeah.
If we speak about real estate in Miami and Dubai, what is the like number one difference between these two?
There are several differences. Off the bat, commissions are a lot higher in terms of open market brokerage. You're looking at around 6% compared to like, let's say 2 to 4%, which is here for just open market brokerage, right? That's just on the commission side. There's a whole structure. You know how everything here is dominated by, let's say, property finders, Bayut or Dubizzle type of thing. Over there, we have the MLS system, right? Which is the, you have to list everything on the MLS system, and it's just the go-to place for everyone to just see what listings are, and there's no duplication of listings, right? Which you see here on property portals. More so than that, you have a lot of, you need to go through escrow, you need to go through title deed checks, you need to have lawyers involved, which is, Dubai has simplified all of that here, right? And In Miami, there is, in the US, as you know, there's a lot of like a sue culture, right? You can get into legal problems very easily. Like if you're a broker and you tell them that, no, don't worry, your view is not going to get blocked, right? And 4 years down the line, there's a building that blocks it and you can get sued for that.
Oh.
Versus here in Dubai, as you know, it's a lot more relaxed in terms of what you can say.
Do you think it will be changed in Dubai in terms of the responsibility of the brokers?
I think Dubai has been putting a lot of very needful regulation in terms of the real estate industry, and they're constantly improving. I mean, it's such a huge part of the economic boom of Dubai, the whole construction and real estate portion. So they've been doing a great job in implementing more and more regulation to make it even more professional. So yes, I 100% agree that they're going to continue to do that in order to make the industry a lot more safer for foreign investors, because Dubai's success is, as you know, fueled by foreign investors a lot. That's a big portion of it. So the more safe of a safe haven this is for investors to invest, then the better overall for the whole city and the country.
What was your first goal when you just came and joined real estate in Dubai? What was your first goal and how fast did you manage to achieve this?
My first goal was to do one sale. I just wanted to do my first sale, and I didn't know if it was going to take me 3 months, 6 months. I had no idea how long it was going to take me, but I just wanted to get the first sale done and dusted, because I was a firm believer that once you get your first sale through, then the rest comes a lot easier. And so I was blessed to have joined a company called Fortune 5, in which there was a great CEO there, and he pretty much helped me completely do my first sale. I did it in the first month, so I was super excited. Yeah, back in an area in downtown called Old Town Island, a 2-bedroom apartment. He helped me with both the seller and the buyer. So just tremendous.
Oh, we remember first sales, right? Any of
Yes.
you remember like each detail of what's happening.
So that was my first sale in Dubai. I think every single person who's in sales always remembers their first sale in any
the hardest
city.
sale as well. The hardest sale is also the same, remarkable, and like you remember each detail.
Correct.
Of this. And I, for example, and the more than that, even more than the sale, you remember like some things you bring out of this sale when like the deal is broken or like you miss something. I had one sale. I was about to sell a penthouse in Creek Harbor last year, and we had agent to agent from buyer's side. I was the agent from seller's side. And we signed this A to A split 50-50. Everything was pretty fair. And we came to the offer and they said, we want now not 50-50, but 70-30. Oh. And I was like, how come? Like you changed it all. And I was like, felt so unfair in this. And I began to fight and like to tell them like, don't please do this. Don't change the terms. This is not the right thing to do. And in the end, I missed this deal. But this was an easy one because like it took me only like, say I sent the property in the evening, we had a viewing, and morning they gave me the offer. And I've lost this deal. It was 2,050K commission. And like my best idea I brought out of this, I'm like, I just should have closed this one. It's not about like being fair. It's like if this is the fast deal, if you don't really, put much time, much effort, it doesn't take anything from you. Sometimes it is okay to compromise. What is your hardest deal, and like what is the conclusion you came to after that?
One of the hardest deals I ever had was when I was the CEO of a real estate developer in Sri Lanka. We went on a roadshow to Singapore. And I had a German couple right in front. And for 2 hours, Galina, they grilled me for 2 hours, saying just all the things they didn't like about my project. And so I would just bite my tongue and I was just explaining every single point as to why it's better than what they thought. And so many times during that conversation back and forth, I felt about giving up. But for some reason, I just held on to it. It felt like, have you seen the movie The Matrix with Neo dodging bullets? Yes. So I was just dodging complaint after complaint from the client. And after those 2 hours, we closed it right there on the spot. So that just was a constant reminder of to just, no matter how bad things are looking, you just keep going and never give up. And so I always remember that one because it was just quite special. Yeah.
That was the hardest, really.
Exactly.
You deserved this one.
It was an absolute struggle because I didn't understand why the guys were so upset. I'm like, inside I was thinking, if you hate this so much, why
would you buy this?
Why do you want wanted this meeting, right? So we just endured
Where do you
it.
think it comes from? Is it just like some concerns people have because they don't know the project? Like, why is it like getting like this from the client side?
Well, remember, real estate is always going to be the biggest investment that anyone ever does, right? At least the first biggest investment that people do is real estate. So it's a lot of hard-earned money that they all put into one single area. And when you're buying off plan in particular, which is what I've specialized throughout my 12-year career, is you're selling air at the end, right, to a client. You're selling the idea. You're selling the promise of all of this. And so some clients will have lots of questions as to what's this going to look like? What's this going to be? Where's the electricity sockets? Everything. How close are you to the elevator? So you have to just walk them through and just be very reassuring with facts.
Yeah, so just for some people, I think it's very simple to imagine the picture in the end. For some, it's not.
Correct.
So that's probably the main thing. Like people, sometimes they just want to feel and see what they're buying.
Yeah, a little bit of security goes a long way.
Any secrets you have in selling off plan?
Look, I get this question asked a lot. I think it's a combination of being knowledgeable and being charismatic, right? Especially if you can make a client laugh, that goes a long way, right? And I learned that early in my real estate career, that if you can make someone laugh, then it helps.
Softens them.
Yes,
Yes,
it it's relaxing. But again, if you're knowledgeable, so it's a finding the right combination between making someone laugh and just sounding and being knowledgeable and presenting the facts accordingly. And if you're articulate when you're presenting the facts, it helps tremendously. So that combination has worked all right for me.
What else can help? When I see every time you present the project or like you give the training and train brokers, you look like an actor on the stage, really. Like, and everyone is like looking like this at you. Is it comes naturally, or it's something like the skill you were developing before? What do you think?
That's a good question. Let me think a little bit. So it is natural. It's not. I don't fake
pretend.
it. No. And it's a lot easier, and I'm sure everybody knows this, that if you love something, it's a whole lot easier to sell it, right? And I've been very fortunate, especially with Expo City Dubai, that I'm absolutely in love with the whole city, what it stands for, the leadership behind it. And the product is just, it's one of a kind. So it's a lot easier to present the facts and be excited about it because we know everything that's coming behind that. And so when you're presenting that, when you're in sales, all you are is pretty much a bridge of emotion and passion. And if you can transmit that emotion and passion to someone else, then it's a lot easier for them to see it. Yeah.
But what else is needed to be a good broker?
You have to learn a lot about your product, right? You have to be the person who knows the most about that project in the room, by far. So specialization on a particular area, I think, is key. For me, I have the benefit that I represent Expo City Dubai, so I love learning every single nook and cranny behind the whole city, right? So when I sit with a client or when I sit with you and your team, I'm able to go into a level of detail that if you ask me one question, I can go into another level of detail. And if you want even a further elaboration, we can continue going on. So this is very reassuring levels. When you're selling off plan to know that every single angle has been carefully been looked after and planned out by the developer. And then you pass on this reassurance on to your clients. And so it makes the whole process a lot more straightforward and seamless.
Okay. Do you have any role model? Like someone you are looking at YouTube, in Reels, like read about someone?
Not in terms of sales, but in terms like I got my work ethic from my dad, right? My dad I remember growing up, I would sometimes complain that I'm sick in the morning and so I didn't want to go to school, right? Or I didn't want to go to work. And he would just be so upset. And he'd be like, it doesn't matter if you are sick, you go to work and you go to school. It's twice, both in school and at work, I try to get out of it. And he was just absolutely relentless when it comes to that. So, and he's been such a hard worker. My grandfather, till the day, 84 years old, till the day he died, he was just still working. So my whole family has been very strong work ethic. So I thank him. He's been an amazing role model in terms of work ethic. So that's been great in terms of work. And then my mom balances that out completely. She's always been the more generous, the more charismatic, loving type of person. And so it's like the best
So
of
you
both
got
worlds.
both
Yeah,
from each of them,
a
right?
little bit, exactly.
Okay, what is your next step in real estate? Now you grew all the way up to sales director of Expo City Dubai, which I find like phenomenal. It's fantastic. What would be the next step?
Wow, that's a question right there in it by itself. I'm super happy at the moment. I'm super happy. I have a great team behind me. Everybody at Expo is just absolutely phenomenal. In terms of next step, we are enjoying everything, all the new products. I've gotten some insight as to everything that's going to be launched, let's say this year. Not everything, but they've given me snippets of it, and it's so exciting that I can't wait. So I'm not thinking about the next step. I'm thinking more about seeing this city come alive even more than it already is, right? Because what's phenomenal about Expo City is that this is the first city in UAE that has ever been built before the residences. So that's super cool. And this has tremendous advantages to clients or brokers that come in and see the look, the feel, the quality, the vibe of a city.
Yeah, you don't see the
Right.
plot or construction
Exactly.
going on, right?
So it's a lot easier to imagine
yes.
it, which is great. So in less than 2 years, we're going to have the first residences moving in. So if the city's already great right now, I can't imagine what it's going to look like once all the residences move in. So that's something that I'm very looking forward to too. And so in terms of what next, I can't wait for the residences to move in, and we're going to be announcing a lot of surprises. The government has a ton of surprises in for everyone, and every single time that there's a big announcement, we see our sales shoot up, we see our broker following increase, we see leads increasing. So with His Highness' announcement of the airport, which was a huge announcement, right? 128 billion, just pretty much one metro station away from us, right? 5 times the size of Dubai. That announcement propelled our sales and the interest in the area tremendously. And just like that, there's going to be other announcements. And so you can imagine why I'm so excited for the whole area to know.
So your
about
next
this.
step will be literally next step into the ready construction when it's done, right?
Yes.
Do you think everyone will move to Expo City Dubai like in 3-5 years?
I think it's going to be one of the top destinations, absolutely by far. Just the way that everything that they're doing is very not the conventional route, right? What do I mean by this? Is that most developers, they care a lot about profit margins, right? Expo has a different set of values, completely different. And everything is thanks to the leadership of His Highness, right? Because he doesn't want Expo to just be a role model in the UAE. He thinks globally. So he wants Expo to be a role model for other master developers around the world. So the level of quality, the level of values integrated deeply into the community is very inspiring, because I haven't seen that anywhere else. So it's you're living history, you know what I mean? You're being part of history. So that is very inspiring for all of us that work there.
Except for Expo City Dubai, if you don't mind me asking this, what would be another area you would invest to, or you would advise your investors to invest?
Look, some of the areas, I've lived a long time in the Palm, and I absolutely love the Palm. I've been living there for a while. I recently invested in Emaar Beachfront because I love the water as well. So besides Expo, anything with water, I've always been a big fan of. Maybe it's because I'm an Aquarius, I don't know, but I've always grown up next to the water.
This is
Miami was
Miami
also next
vibes.
to the water.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I guess it's the Miami vibes, yeah. Which is
Okay,
great.
anything water or Expo City Dubai, right?
Exactly.
If we speak about developing the personal brand, as everyone now does, and I see that you make a lot of reels happening and a lot of filming, what is the main advantage of having a strong self-brand to your point of view?
I think it gives an insight to both clients and other brokers of who you're dealing with, right? It's pretty much like, you know how when you go to a cinema, you see a little bit of a trailer? So it's like a little bit of trailer to what the movie is, right? If you like the trailer, you're going to like the movie. Odds are, right? So that's a little bit of how I see it. And I just started this year really pushing the whole personal brand aspect of it on social media. I had my social media accounts on private for the longest time, and I'm like, this year I'm going in, let's try something new, right? and it's been so much fun. Like, I really enjoy doing it. And if you enjoy something, then I think that goes a long way and it transmits to it. So what's been great is just the lead generation aspect of it, but not only the amount of leads that you get from doing that, and you get to also re-encounter with friends in the industry that you haven't spoken about, that they find you on social media, and then you reconnect and then you do deals with them, which is great. But also the whole aspect of just growing the brand and having fun with it, and making your whole office and workplace just like a playground where you can just show the world how amazing, how much fun you're having at this place, which is pretty cool.
But that's a nice side. If we speak about the responsibility, for example, this is the whole other aspect. And when your life begins to be seen by others, the responsibility level just goes sky high, because like any mistake you make, or for example, you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like filming today, but you do have to, because this is the machine, you cannot just stop all of a sudden, or like anything, like any wrong words you say, this will affect the whole company or the whole reputation. What do you think about like this level of responsibility, how to handle this one?
It's something that I don't have too much present, only because what I say on the reels is what we say 6-7 days a week. You know what I mean? After so much repetition that it's just so ingrained. And Expo is so amazing that it's just easy to transmit that emotion onto everything else. So I don't feel too much that responsibility. But more importantly, for me at least, is that the whole reel aspect, the reel, doing the reels or the social media content, I don't see it as a job. I just see it as something fun, because this is extracurricular, right? It's not part of the job description of mine at all. So as long as I'm going to continue to do it, as long as I have fun with it, because the moment that I start seeing it like a part of a job, then it's not going to be as pleasant, which is something that I love about sales in general, right? I love doing it, and so I don't feel like it's part of the job. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
So if you love what you do, then they say you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, exactly. What would you suggest to the new brokers in the market, for those who just start their career? What would be the main advice?
One of my great friends, her name's Anju, and we were just talking about this yesterday, and that exact same question she asked me, and I was just telling her that, look, what's worked for me is being knowledgeable in a particular area. So I told her, first of all, find an area that you love, right? Because if you love it, then it's a lot easier for you to transmit that passion and love to whoever it is that you're explaining that to. So find something that you love and represent, right? And then second, try to find out all the information possible about that area, right? So no one can learn more about that area than you, especially whoever you're talking to, right? And just read a little bit, right? There's so many good statistics in the market, either from JLL, either from Azteco, Knight Frank. There's so many different market analysis. So if you catch up on those every so often, right, then when you're speaking to a client, then they know that, hey, this is someone who reads, this is someone who is knowledgeable about it, this is someone that I can trust with advisory in terms of real estate. So to break it down, find an area that you love, and then read as much about it as possible, so you can be knowledgeable. So that sometimes it's just as simple as that.
For newcomers and for new brokers, this can be a way, but at the same time, I see a lot of limitation in this strategy, because I started, for example, when I just started real estate here in Dubai, I chose Dubai Creek Harbor. It was like not so popular as today. It was 2.5 years ago. Nobody really knew about this area. All they thought like it's so far away. And I started from this area. I even called my Instagram Dubai Creek Girl. Okay. I was specializing on Dubai Creek Harbor, and I did pretty well. I know like everything. Like this building has the window opening. This is not like every single detail. And it really helped me a lot. I made so many deals in Dubai Creek Harbor. But at the same time, I see this as the huge limitation. I will tell you like from which point of view, because like some of my clients, they say, Galina, she just does Dubai Creek Harbor. And they don't come to me if they want to invest in other areas. That's number one thing. And number two is that if you're limited by one area, I think like at some point you begin to lose the feel of the market because things change. And today, say, we didn't speak about Palm Jebel Ali, but like they increased this beach, they made it really nice, they put like a lot of effort in this area, and it's becoming popular and popular. If you sit on one area, the second limitation, after a while, you can lose this feel of market. And today, I would not recommend today a new broker to specialize on Dubai Creek Harbor, by the way, because it's like so extremely popular. There is so high demanded on one point of view. On the other point of view, like all the agents are there. So like I've seen these people, they just got back from the viewing with the one agent. They said goodbye to their agent and the agent left. And the next agent just comes up to this client and takes him back to the building. And this is like how ridiculous now, like the hottest areas, you know what I mean? And I think the best way, like the second, probably, yes, when you just start, it's easier to focus on something. But the next step is you need to know other areas and choose the ones that are not, you know, too hot at the moment. Because when the area becomes too hot, everyone is there. It's like shark. It's just becomes crazy. So this is another way I would definitely look like for some area like Expo City Dubai, for example, or some areas like Jebel Ali, Tel Al Gaf, like some newer areas that not a lot of people realized how much potential it has at the moment, and just start from there. And then when you see another area coming up, you just move there. Like that's what I would probably do.
Look, what you're saying has a lot of merit, and I see it firsthand. I mean, some of the smaller companies are the ones that are doing the biggest and most deals at Expo City Dubai. Not the big companies that we all know about in terms of brokerages in Dubai. No, it's the smaller companies that have been going absolutely hard on Expo City and doing so many sales. Now, as we've grown and we've been over a year and a half in the market selling real estate at Expo City Dubai, then you start seeing a little bit more of the bigger companies coming in. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes if you grab onto a new area first, you can really start farming that area and doing quite well. So yeah, having a little bit of knowledge.
I would rename myself today instead of the Dubai Creek build to something else, probably.
Oh, I have a good name.
But a lot of people remember me like that. So this is where I got stuck.
Yeah, especially if it's on your Instagram handle, which you can't change.
You've been working here more than 10 years by now. What was the hard thing at start, and what has changed since then?
Oh my God, by far. So go back to 2013, right? I come in April. So what happens? Summer comes in, right? Imagine me being in summer without a car, in a suit, right? Walking around doing viewings. There's no Uber, there's no Kareem. And so finding a taxi is not that easy. So doing real estate as a broker, it was intense. It wasn't easy back in the day. Now it's very different, right? Being at a big government master developer in stunning offices, it's having people come is the complete opposite of where I started in Dubai. So that was the hardest part, yeah.
By the way, speaking about summer, me and you, we are selling today. It's summer, it's July, and we are here in Dubai. What do you think? Everyone thinks that market slows down, and in a way it does slow down. But what are the main advantages of selling during the summertime?
Main advantages, well, from a developer point of view, which is the more amount of years that I have in experience, yes, summer does slow down a little bit for us, just because all the top brokers are going on vacation, right? So if the top brokers are going on vacation, then obviously demand slows down. Some of the advantages, just you get a little bit more to refresh. We go like this throughout the whole year, non-stop working, right? So working late. You know that real estate never sleeps. It's just 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Just to breathe out, right?
So a summer allows you to have a little bit more of to breathe a little bit and do a little bit more plans, whether it's a long weekend here, a long weekend there, go on a little bit of a trip, so you can grab up more energies for when the more busy months come in.
I find that during the summertime, clients are easier to handle. I don't know if you agree with me, but like for my clients, I had a lot of sales last summer. I keep selling now, maybe because I do off plan and secondary both, but still the clients are reacting better in many ways. So like less brokers keep calling them every day.
Okay.
They got less prepositions. So like really they'll kind of more tend to, to come towards you. This is what I feel about like working with clients. It's like, it seems like it's easier to close during the summertime.
Yeah, supply and demand, I guess, right? So you have a lot more, you get more attention from them as well because they have a lot less, many people hassling them.
Because they also breathe out, right?
Yes.
And also not in a hurry. Kids are not, don't go to school, you don't wake 6 a.m.
Exactly. You're right.
If you could say only one sell point to investor, what would you say?
I would say that our community is one of the, if not the top area, one of the top areas in terms of capital appreciation, right? And so when you say this, the first question that they're going to say, all right, how? And then you go throughout the whole list of why this will be the area with the most capital appreciation. But I think the overarching umbrella of it is just to express confidently that this area is where you're going to get the most capital appreciation because the government is putting so much effort and so much money behind their vision for the whole Dubai South area, specifically in Expo City Dubai, that it's an eye-opener for clients and for brokers when they start realizing all the plans that are coming in, everything that's already done, which is magnificent, and then plus everything that's going to be here in the next few years. So that would be the number one go to the capital appreciation part because it just encompasses so much.
Mm-hmm. You said that you feel that Dubai is your home now after 11 years. Do you think if we speak about American dream and Dubai dream, do you think American dream is over?
Oh, wow. That's okay. I see a lot of similarities, right? Because the Dubai dream is so real. It's so real. Having lived in the US, I lived in the US for a long time, but I moved out I left Miami when I was around 23, 24 years old, more or less. Yeah, 24, 25. And the American dream has always been a cornerstone to why everyone works so hard there. And in Dubai, everybody comes to Dubai with that dream, right? And it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, when my friends ask me, how would you describe Dubai? I always tell them it's the Miami of the Middle East, right? And that Dubai dream, I mean, is the reason I call this home because we are all so grateful for the leadership in the country because where else can you have the lifestyle that if you work hard and you work honest, right, that you can get ahead so much. Obviously, thanks to what Dubai and the UAE has done with amazing leadership. So yes.
And also comparing these two, I would say that everyone wants American dream. And American dream is so much promoted all over the world. Like you leave and you do want to go to America and you do want to be there. You feel these vibes. And here versus here in Dubai, you just, most of the time, you just come by accident, you stay here, and that's where your dream comes out.
Yeah, you fall in love with it.
This is what I think, yes.
Look, the visa status, the whole getting a visa in the US is not easy at all. It's very, very difficult, especially if you compare that to UAE. Getting a visa to live here and work here, they've made it very accessible, right? I honestly feel that the Dubai dream is a lot easier and more accessible than, let's say, the American dream for an expat, especially, right? Which is my point of view in both of them.
Thank you so much for coming, Peter. There was a great pleasure and we had such a great conversation.
Galina, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to see you, and anything you need, we're at your service.
Okay, thank you. What would be your number one investment today in Dubai?
Well, I absolutely love the 2 bedrooms at Sky Residences in Expo City Dubai because they have the best payment plan in the whole entire country. 50% during construction and a crazy, not 1, not 3, but 5-year post-handover payment plan. So this does wonders because you leverage off the payment plan, right? Which helps you more than double your capital appreciation before handover, right? And on handover, and then you can leverage off of it for both short-term rental because it's a short-term rental paradise for both business tourism and long-term tourism, thanks to everything that's going on in the city that's already built, right? And it's such a family-friendly community that the 2 bedrooms are just absolute happy medium ideal, right? In terms of all the people that are working there and all the tourists that are coming as well and all the amenities, facilities. So without a doubt, a 2-bedroom Sky residence. It's easy on the pocket because it's only around 2.6 million, and you have a crazy 8 years to pay that off at 0% interest. So yeah.
I love this. Crazy 8 years. Okay, I think it's coffee and croissant time, right?
Love it. Love it.
Oh, thank you so much. That was hard. Woo.